Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jibber Jabber Podcast. It's another Sunday evening where we chat some fun stuff. Isn't that right, J-Mac?
Absolutely. What is a Sunday without this show? It's actually depressing. There has been occasions recently where it's not been able to happen for whatever reason, and I'm just sitting here like this.
Has there?
Yes.
Yeah, but we made up for it for like panning 3 shows in 1 week after that.
Yeah, we did. Like that.
And that was fun. So let's do 100 more. Yeah, because I'm looking forward to them. So what did we do last week? We had the Miss Angel on, who scarily predicted everything to do with folk and was speaking to other loved ones and stuff. But tonight we have a special guest on, a fella that goes by the name of Ben Trebilcook. Not double cook, not cook, but Trebilcook. He actually is a. What are you laughing at? He's
that was awesome.
It was actually class. Hey, thanks. We're going to kind of focus here on the script here that he wrote, which you've actually near completed. I tend to not go too far in because I kind of want to see it on the big screen. But I did have a good look through. A good friend, Brian, had put us on to Ben here, and along with a lot of other really cool, talented people. Got a few comments here as well. We got Contagious Germs says I may be a bit early.
a great picture. What a great picture.
You're right on time. It actually looks like the emoji version of me, right?
Actually, that's pretty accurate. Like, I mean, it's.
Rod Smith says, "Come on, I'm a celebrity for this." Oh, I was meant to record that for the wife. Oops. Ginny says, "Hey," and Lee McMaster says, "Mate, your room looks clean for once."
Hey, it must be talking to you.
My room's always clean.
This room up until recently has been like, remember when people were working from home and they had to do video calls? Like the bit of the video that was in range is tidy, and the rest of it is an absolute shithole. That's what this has been like up until recently, but I gutted this today and I've got it looking sweet as a nut. So I'm very proud of myself. I also got my VCR set up, which has been awesome. I've been watching some old videos with some old trailers and some old quality, and it's been good fun. So
I was at the market recently and I saw 2 VHSs being sold by an old lady, and it said on them WWF. I thought, should I just get them and see what's on it? But I thought, I'm not going to. I just didn't take a walk on the website. Before we get Ben on,
That was one thing. The guy that gave me this, right? He gave me a few kind of VHSs to go through and pick what I wanted. So I picked a few. So I've got I've got Braveheart, Universal Soldier, a few other bits and bobs. But there was a tape in the machine that he didn't know about, and I was like, please be a porno, please be a porno. It wasn't. It's Ali versus Fraser.
Wow.
On VHS. So I'm going to watch that.
Scary. A good friend of ours is making a film called The Goodman, and it's Ian Gordon. He's really good. He helped make Dick Dynamite. I urge everybody to go and show support. This guy's making this film in some of the coolest places in Scotland, and it's also got animatronics and all that cool stuff, like actual physical. I mean, when's the last time you've seen that in a film? They are not eligible for any type of funding because they don't tick any of the boxes. He being Ian identifies as he, so they were told no to any type of funding. Go to indiegogo.com/projects/The Goodman, spelled Gudeman, and please help support this. Help support filmmaking in general, but help support Scottish filmmaking, help support indie filmmaking, help support great filmmakers. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for tonight, Ben Trebilcook. Ben, how's it going, my man? Sorry we took a wee bit to get you in there, but
hi, Ben.
Ben,
he's going to pull it out, and then he's going to show you his Robocop toy as well.
I did, yes. Oh,
wait a minute. Does yours do this?
I can barely hear that.
Might need to change your battery.
Yeah,
he's shooting.
It would talk before it went in the bath.
Oh, was that you or the kids?
Not me.
Oh, so you used to have more than one child then?
It went in the bath with this guy.
No, that's sick.
Who's playing Robocop versus Terminator in the bath?
This guy.
Oh, Robert Patrick.
We need to go to Ben's house for a drink.
Obviously, PG toys. PG toys, of course.
Man, I thought I was having a good time there, but
Yes.
mate,
Oh,
No, that's excellent. I remember them from when I was a kid. I had the Terminator because does his chest come off? Does it come away? Mine did.
no, he's called. He's in our house. He's called the Goody Robot.
Right.
and there's the Baddie Robot.
I see.
Terminator. Even though the word is okay, it can lead off to other subjects.
The Terminator.
What does Terminator mean? It means killing probably another being. I don't know.
I mean, what would they have actually called the sequel if they couldn't have called it the Terminator? The try and keep alive-inator? That would be a strange.
The Protectinator.
The Protectinator. There you go.
The ridding of other beings.
Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator.
He jumps about in spandex, just telling you.
He does TikToks now.
Does he? Is he still alive?
He's still alive. Of course he is. He kept fit his whole fucking life.
Sorry. I have to apologise sometimes. Ben.
No, you don't.
So, well, I feel the need to sometimes. We're huge movie fans. Last couple of years, we got ourselves we went and got ourselves a production company, a production team, full studio, and all that stuff. So we I say kinda because we're at the start of our journey. We kinda know what it's like to work with guys like yourself, but we've never taken that path to where you're at now. So
I don't know where I'm at now.
But, well, you know what's funny? Everybody, all filmmakers, all writers, they all tend to say the same thing. It's like we look at you guys like, wow, you have done something really amazing, and yet everybody that we've spoken to is like, have I?
Have you seen those memes where it's like, success is like, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. What is success as well? It's like being happy, guys. Yeah,
I think
that's true.
Success is getting to the end of your to-do list, sitting down and going, right, I achieved all of those things. I think that for me is success. That and waking up every morning with everybody being happy and healthy. I think if you can juggle that to me is success.
Being on a Jibber Jabber live pod.
Well, I suppose that could be sometimes.
Merchandise available.
From where?
Good point.
Lee says, hi guys. Hi Lee, hope you're doing good. Lee is a spiritualist. Lee, do you see anything in Ben's future that involves him making a Die Hard film? And Lee will get back to us on that. So yeah, why Die Hard? Obviously it must be your favorite film, but there must be more to it for you. Why did you decide to play that?
It's in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite.
What's the favorite?
I'll get to Young Guns.
What?
I was not expecting that. It's not one of the. I mean, great film, but it's not normally the kind of everybody says Shawshank Redemption or Pulp Fiction or something. You're like fucking Young Guns. That's awesome.
Young Guns, 1988. Oh, same year. So John Fusco, who wrote that. When I was 13, my gosh, I was BMX racing. I was riding for my county. Just up, it was a bit bonkers, and I went up a very silly ramp. I should have just carried on pedaling, but I ended up breaking my whole of my left side and shoulder, collarbone, elbow, everything, and kept going. And I think I won a bag of sweets or something, but no, there was a trophy, I think. But I was off school for a long while, and back then they didn't send tutors or work. They don't. Yeah, hope you're okay. And my dad would go with my brothers to the video store and just get a bunch of videos. And there you go. Hope you like these. And every day I would watch a load of stuff from John Woo's The Killer. Thanks, everybody. Even though I was 13, even on the box, it had more deaths than World War II combined.
Dynamite.
That got me into Hong Kong cinema, and then one of there was Sho Kosugi, all the martial arts, like Japanese stuff, but they were very TV made.
Mm.
And you didn't really know they were bottom shelf of blockbuster type stuff, but and then there was also Young Guns, and I thought, oh, and that was the first. I was aware of westerns, but that was my introduction to. I thought, oh, this is great. I loved the actors in it. The Brat Pack guys, and I thought, I want to write stuff, and that was my first introduction to not film, but wanting to write or make films. And I'd always messed around with bits and wanted to make monsters and stuff, and but I was always aware of films, but that became an instant. Oh my gosh!
Do you know what you said there? What you said there a second ago is something I actually miss about being a kid.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
You don't actually notice when movies are bad as long as you enjoy them. Yeah. Like you said, they looked like they're made like TV movies sort of thing, but you didn't notice that as a kid. It's just I enjoyed that, and then you see it later and you go, "How did I enjoy that?"
Absolutely. you only had four channels really until like the 90s of Channel 5. There was no.
Yeah, we got 4.5 channels at that point.
Well, yeah, that's right. We were 20 years behind the States in terms of cable, and only your certain mates maybe had Sky to watch maybe the Tyson fight and Bruno, and then nothing. But it was 4 channels and going to the local video store, and that was an event.
Mm-hmm.
And if you managed to bag a local that would get you,
he would
certain go to right. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. I know your dad. And you'd get, but even then you'd rent the same ones. It would be Die Hard and Lethal Weapon every week.
Do you know? I remember going into. I remember seeing the trailer for Dragonheart on the TV, right? And I kept saying, "Dad, we need to watch it." So I remember he took me into the video store, and we got another film. We basically got Dragonheart, which we thought was Dragonheart. Went home and watched this film that came in the Dragonheart case, but it was a film about a different dragon that wasn't Dragonheart. I can't actually remember what that film was. I need to check out because I remember going, "Wow, I'm glad I didn't get Dragonheart." But then I later got Dragonheart, and it was class, one of my all-time favorites. But I definitely recall that being able to go into you walk into the video store and that smell hits you. There's the same tune playing over on a loop, right? You're walking past it, and how you determined what you were going to watch at night was based purely on how good the cover art was on the VHS, right?
I miss those days of going there. Because it was an event, Friday night or those Saturdays with your mates, with you'd go out skateboarding or BMXing, and then you'd have whose house are we watching the video at this week? Oh yeah, it was great. I miss it. And if I had a time machine, I would probably go back to still watching the same movies as I watch now, but with my old mate.
No. If you ever find yourself coming up to Scotland, there is still a video rental store in Ayr on the west coast.
No way.
It's a comic book shop /
someone's house
DVD rental. I don't know. It might be. I've still actually to go. I did actually send a message to the guy to ask if he wanted to come on the show. This was a long time ago, and then he kind of got back to me, basically asking me to contact him on a different thing, and I just forgot to do it. I might need to revisit that because it'd be cool just to even see the place. But it was an event, like you said, Friday night. It was a proper. That was the exciting bit of the night, was going in and finding what you were gonna take home that night.
Looking at the old
a club.
By the way, when Lee popped up there in the comments and I asked her, and by the way, She was on the show last week. You can go back and check it. Right, she was pretty accurate with everyone. Okay, and what I asked her a minute ago was, you making a Die Hard film in the future? She has responded. She says, yes, but there's a guy behind him.
Oh, fuck.
So yes, she sees you making the film about Die Hard in the future. Also, there's a guy behind him. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, Lee, a little bit. Rod Smith says the smell of virginity and straight to video.
that's the video shop smell.
Rod, mate. I'm sure that if that's the same guy.
Brian says fast forward video across from the burnt out station hotel in Ayr. So he's very much aware of it.
There we go.
He says most stuff here is online now. That's true, unfortunately. Rod says, hey Brian. I think he meant that to Brian.
To Brian, probably.
She was on point. She was on point. Jenny's got a reading now. So
I'll trace back to from Young Guns. There was Die Hard. So my dad was in the police, in the City of London Police, and even if he was posting a letter, he would be in some kind of armed siege. And so the first time was around the time when I broke everything. He was looking after a neighbor's car, and we lived in a cul-de-sac one time, and you could only get one car down the road at any point. You couldn't overtake, or you couldn't pull into the curb or anything. You'd have to drive to the end or reverse all the way back to your own house to let someone in. And I was at school at one point, and he was driving out, and there was this van that pulled in, and he's going, well, you only have to go round. He was just taking it around the block to I don't know, thinking, well, I've got to use it, or I don't know what guys did back then. I would have left it covered in leaves and bird poop and whatever. And the guys in the van pulled down ski masks and said, you back up. So my dad thought, this is different. And they got out, and this was the first time an Uzi was used definitely in Southeast London, and they just peppered my dad's car. And he thought, I'll probably reverse now. Shot it all up. And he ran over a few, and there was an alley at the top of our road, and they were escaped, half of them, after him running a few of them down. I got home, Dad's on the local news, and the car is just smashed up and
bullet holes.
The next week, this gang had done another robbery, and I'm in school, and another kid's dad. What they used to do, I didn't know, was until I used to teach, but they used to put children of police or army in the same classes to stop them being bullied. You'd think it'd be the reverse, but this other dad had shot dead a lot of the robbers. So there we are. There's another kid in the class whose dad was one of the robbers, and we're thinking, this is awkward. My dad a week ago ran over your dad.
I mean, it's like, normally in school you get, like my dad could kick your dad's ass, but my dad could run over yours and get him shot. So.
Yeah, it was pretty close. But and then from then you get your own family story, and I think, wow, this is amazing. Your dad's in your eyes of like being heroic, and he never broke a bone. He'd fall over and this. I'm posting a letter, and someone's holding up Asda. Oh gosh. And then you'd watch Die Hard, and you think, wow, not that he'd shout and swear and smoke, but he's in this wrong place at a wrong time, and things. That's my dad.
That's amazing.
it's hard to say, but it's there's other things that he'd done, being blown up and shot and stabbed, and oh my gosh, yeah, and he's your hero, and Mum would gloss it over. Oh, it's nothing. It's all right. Come in with the bins.
That's mad.
Yeah, a bit of Dettol, that'll be fine.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, a bit of gunpowder on the wounds, set light to it. But so he'd tell me stories, whether it's him or a colleague or people he's worked with, and that would become fuel for my imagination and stories ahead. And he would do exchange trips to other countries, Italy, Germany, New York, representing his force, because the City of London, it's like a very, very powerful force in London. I know it will. I'm sure in years will come it will merge into the Met or whatever. But they just police the square mile, and they've got a lot of money that they have to protect. And he would go abroad and represent that force, and I would get taken over there to New York, and we've got to go and meet Santo on the. Do you mind shooting? I don't mind shooting. Do you mind being trained to go to the Bronx? And yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm young and I'm taking it all in. I think, okay, this is Commander Santo. This is FBI agent. What? So all of it, it would just be, I want to write stuff. I don't want to be in it. You could make a great cop. I don't want to be a cop.
It's like, I've seen enough.
Being a real cop is boring, I think.
What was the first thing you ever wrote then? When you thought, I'm going to write something, what was the first thing you sat down and penned?
I used to do some sketches with a friend of mine. He was my best mate, also called Ben. He's real. He's not made up. If I made up a real person, that I wouldn't give him the same name as me. To clarify. I went to school with him, and he now lives up the road. Yeah, move up the road with me. It'd be great. We'll see each other all the time. We won't. But we started to do sketches and just fall out of trees and do these very bizarre characters. And I thought, right, I'm just going to write stuff that we can do and get a video camera and film ourselves. And I thought, I'd like to actually, could I make a film? And yeah, it went on, and I did like a few shorts, and then the interest in John Woo came along, and those sketches became a bit more bloody and and had two guns and candles and doves.
John Woo's a funny one for me, because I mean, like, we've all seen Face Off, and I've never seen the Killers, but I did see another one he did called Blackjack with Dolph Lundgren. I don't know if you ever seen that one.
Sadly, have you not seen the Hong Kong stuff?
No, I've not seen any of his early stuff, and I really should. I've got a fucking movie podcast. I should probably visit some of this stuff. But I remember the Blackjack one was funny. It was Dolph Lundgren was allergic. Now. He was allergic to the color white. He couldn't look at white. And then the big fight at the end is at a fucking dairy farm, and there's just milk spewing everywhere. He's like, it's madness. Yeah.
God.
Right. I'll have to watch that.
Actually, I should probably watch it now, because we do love movies like that now. Like, we just watch them and go, this is fantastically bad.
You were not to fight. You were not to win the fight tonight.
Oh, King of the Kickboxers. That's awesome.
Oh, don't. Yeah. The oh my gosh.
I remember we fell off a couch, like, just howling at it. By the way, Lee says right side for me, his dad's side. And then she says he passed because of his heart. And then she says, ask him about that script, that handwrite.
What's that one?
Script, that handwrite.
Sometimes she writes I'll give her a minute. Bean says The Killer is the best film ever. Blackjack though.
The Killer,
Beans,
man.
fellow filmmaker, right there in the comments.
Oh,
Yes.
Beans! I watched The Killer sitting maybe 3 seats away from John Woo in the cinema. I watched The Killer, Bullet in the Head, A Better Tomorrow 2, and then there was a clip of Hard Target, all in the same evening with John Woo.
Wow.
And then he signed a business card that I had, and it had director, writer. He went, "Oh, director." I went, "Oh, done some sketches." He said, "Never give up." He said, "What do you want to do one day?" I said, "Well, just write." And he said, "Oh, I want to do a Western." I said, "What?" Gosh, I'll write you a Western. So it never got to him. I'll tell you about
Beans
that.
actually. Do you know? I think it was this year. I think it was. Beans was actually sitting with John McTiernan over at a festival, and I think they done a Q&A together, I believe. But that's pretty cool. You've spent a wee bit of time with McTiernan, yeah?
Yeah, I've known him for a fair few years. Are we? Hang on.
On the
Oh, hello. Hey. Oh gosh.
Courtesy of Brian.
That's not him on the left.
Not on the left. He's slightly smaller than McTiernan.
McTiernan, I've known Gail McTiernan for a long time. She reached out to me. Oh, this is going back 10 or so years. I was writing to John when he was in prison. So surreal that he could go to prison, but it's another pod. In Fort Monkton, I think, and he was there for a year, and I started talking about Nomads, and which was starred Pierce Brosnan, and he's a great writer, and just knows so much. But yeah, that I think that really took a huge toll on him, and well, he's not made a film for, I don't know, since Basic, maybe, I don't know.
Basic was really good as well. I remember that. That was 2002 or something like that. Basic came out.
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah,
it's been a while.
But yeah, I've kept in touch and and we've seen each other a few times, and that was my little boy with him, and when he did he came over for the Action Film Festival, and we thought, oh, we've got to meet up for dinner or lunch or something, and so I took my little boy, and there he is with his little cars, and I said, "Oh, what's that? That?" I said, "Oh, this is this." And there's McT driving with stuff, and no, you don't know how to do it, McT. my then 4-year-old telling how to direct an action sequence
to John McTiernan.
Oh wow, there we go. Look,
there's the card here.
Oh dear, my God.
Woo himself.
Wow.
By the way, shout out to Brian Trainer. He's providing me here. He's sub-producing from the sidelines.
Oh man, he's got lots of stuff that probably I haven't even got anymore.
No, he's very well equipped.
He's got a book of me, I think.
All good producers do.
So how did that feel the first time, like just sitting down with John McTiernan? You know what I mean? The guy's a legend.
Nervy. Yeah, very nervy, but instantly, I suppose because writing is like maybe a pen pal, and Gail I think Gail just wanted to see my little boy Finn, to be honest, and he was the center of the show, the stage, and you want to, okay, you guys move away. I want to talk Predator, Die Hard, and everything else, and I had just seen, Die Hard with him the previous night, and Predator as well. But yeah, talking to him, he's my dad's age, and so you treat him like a film dad, and you think, oh wow, you know, these are legends, and they are. There's not really action directors around. There's people who direct certain things, but to say, wow, you know, I could count on one hand that are, you know, the late great Tony Scott was amazing. Paul Verhoeven, John McTiernan, who can really do action. And
Ian's Goldblum in the chat. You need to check out Dick Dynamite. That's got a lot of action in it, and it's been a while since we've seen something with some good action in it, especially of that nature. You need to definitely check it out. But I agree with what you're saying. There's not that's kind of like a lost art now. That you know, Commando, Die Hard. It's all it's on a way that's.
Did James Wan do one of the Fast and Furious films, or am I misremembering something?
I think it was the third one, wasn't it?
I think it was later than that, but like James Wan, fucking great horror director, and then all of a sudden he does Fast and the Furious. It's like, now that should have been somebody like McTiernan or D'Souza or you know, just. But
he's very complimentary, James. Aussie guy. We've got a couple of mutual friends, and he there's this myth that he made a short and it was really horrific, and sent it to a load of agents in LA that if you want to see a feature of this, sign me up. And then, you know, ultimately he became Saw. And it's one of those legends. You think, yeah, I believe it actually. And yeah, look at it. Death Sentence with Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. Oh, and John Goodman. Oh, that's fucking excellent.
Film.
Oh, I love that. I love that, because that's not just an action film. That's a film that makes you feel.
Oh gosh, there's like a several minute scene of you know, the car park scene of and the that is brilliant.
That was amazing. It's so underrated, that film.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
That's what I was saying. You get James Wan. He's not an action director, but he did this big action film. My point is, you don't have these guys that just do action anymore, or if they do, it really tends to be straight to DVD stuff, and it gets missed. I think it seems like they need to kind of dip their toe into all the waters to keep themselves kind of going. But
I like a director who do things that maybe they would want to watch themselves. So, and I would write what I would want to watch. But you can get pigeonholed, and your agents can go, oh, you know, are you the action guy? Are you the Western guy? You think, well, I want to write what I would go and watch, and it's difficult, and it is, and it's difficult for them, which I can understand. But and also for you know, if you people like Spielberg, you can make anything you like.
How do you get there the way? I mean, when you start off, like we had Ryan Hendrick on a couple of weeks ago. He made a film called Mercy Falls, but before that he has a film come out called Lost at Christmas, which done really well. Now that's a Christmas film, and he was handed several Christmas scripts again after it, and he was like, whoa. It's like, I'm not doing that. But I believe he is going to go back to doing Christmas films, but I think he wanted to Mercy Falls is kind of like it's thriller. I wouldn't say too much horror, but it's definitely thriller, murdery type of film. And that for him was like, I'll try this out before I go back there, because I want to kind of keep it open. It's who says that, like, oh, he's that kind of guy? Do you know what I mean? Who gets to say, well, you made a Christmas film and it was great, so now you're the Christmas guy? Do you know what I mean?
That's right. I think you've got to find your feet, and I think it takes a lot of hit and misses. And there's a couple of mates of mine. There was an actor who his name is Giles Alderson, and he's done a few movies. He does a podcast, Filmmakers Podcast, and interviews such amazing people. He started off as an actor, and every film of his has been completely different.
Right.
Dexter Fletcher, who I've got a shout out today, who did wish me luck today, who
awesome.
Said, you know, please, you know, don't worry, don't be nervy, you'll be all right. He's in my top 5 of who I look forward to seeing, and every film of his has been different. I know there's been a couple of musicals, but you know, his first Wild Bill, I used to show when I was teaching. I used to show all the time to kids. Sunshine on Leith was great, and then obviously Rocket Man, 2 musicals. But you think, wow, what are you going to do next? Everything's been different, and it's been a step up, and the people around him. And I know he's grown up from being a child star, but
yeah, I was watching Bugsy Malone a few months ago, and I was like, oh, it's Dexter Fletcher. And about 19 folk for the bill.
That's right. Daniel Keeble says, how does Ben come up with new ideas when writing?
I meet up with Daniel Keeble at the coffee, the Corner Club Cafe in Leigh-on-Sea, and I steal his ideas. Dan is a local talent who is, I tell you, he is absolutely amazing. It's one of these friendships. Funny, he throws this up. He's never ever asked me how do I come up with stuff. I was going through such a weird time. I thought, right, I need a new bank account, and I opened one up, and there was a woman on the desk who, this won't take long. You can get a card straight away. What do you do? I said, I'm not doing anything. I haven't got a job. I don't do it. But I love film, and this is only a few years back. Said, right, my son makes films. I'm thinking, yeah, right. Here's his number. You should get in touch. And I thought, okay, why not? It'd be someone I could go out for a beer with. I'm pretty low, and lo and behold, he is probably the most talented people I've ever met, and local people. He started off with lighting, got his own kit. He makes kind of like sports stuff, but
this is his IMDb.
Yeah,
it keeps going.
Done so much stuff. I saw a screening last week of a friend of ours who sadly passed away last month, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing. He should be no shorts anymore, Dan. Features
and podcasts. Get on this one, mofo.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The technical. He is a next Kubrick. Ta-da!
Wow, that's a bold statement. Let's see what happens.
There is a boom right now, I think.
I didn't answer him, did I? I didn't answer him.
Well, you did. You said you stole all his.
I sit and just suck up all the ideas. All my ideas are Die Hard.
We will get to talking about your script, by the way. We're just kind of getting the rails moving. Rails don't fucking move. Getting the wheels move on the rails. That's what we're doing. There we go. Rails don't move.
Is it just that because we're speaking to more industry folks now, J-Mac, that we feel that there's a wealth of talent, or is there more so now in the last 5 to 10 years more talent emerging in the Scottish and the UK filmmaking?
Me or Jay?
Both of you. I mean, what do you think?
Jay?
I'll say that the facilities are there now for people that couldn't normally get their foot in the door. Because before, when it comes to actually making films and shooting something, all you really had was like Sony Handycam. It was the best you could get. And let's face it, you're never going to get anything great with that. It's great for home movies, literally just taking videos of your family and stuff, but you don't have the control over that kind of thing to make something look as good as it should. And then all of a sudden, we've got, what we use, the Blackmagic shows up, and it's an affordable price. I say affordable, it's not cheap, but it's not expensive either. It's just the gear is more available, and even things like Facebook, being able to get in touch with people to bring stuff together, I think.
And that time you phoned Tibor Takas.
Yeah, that was funny. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with this one, Ben, but I was slightly inebriated one night, and Kevin dared me to try and call Tibor Takas, who directed The Gate. I don't know if you
And
remember
Sabrina
that
the
horror
Teenage
film.
Witch. All the series of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You remember that?
Gosh.
The Gate is an 80s horror film with Stephen Dorff.
Phenomenal.
A great kind of creature feature thing. And yeah, I called him and he didn't answer. He didn't answer me. But then he texted me like on Messenger. He said, call back. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, right, okay. I called back and he answered. And I found out during that call the reason he answered was because he thought I was Ron Perlman.
You got Ron Perlman.
I'd changed my profile
Ron
pic.
Perlman.
I'd changed my profile pic to Ron Perlman because I'd been told that I looked like him. So I did that, and he thought it was him using an alias. But he was nice enough to actually talk to me, and then he came on our podcast like 2 or 3 nights later.
Excellent.
That
Still
doesn't
got him
happen
on
all the
WhatsApp.
time.
Still literally got him on
Oh,
WhatsApp.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still there.
His question is Rhea Perlman related to Ron Perlman?
I don't know.
I don't think so. No,
No,
I
it
don't
is.
think so. I'm sure I looked that up, and I think she's pronounced Ray, isn't it?
I thought it was Rhea.
Or is it Rhea? Is it Rhea? Maybe. Oh no, it is. Is it? Well, I don't know.
It's the surname, not the first name.
I don't think she
Perlman.
is.
Perlman.
Was
Right.
Brooklyn? Well, she's from Brooklyn. Producer. She'd
Oh,
been married to Danny DeVito. She
Yeah.
does look a bit like Ron.
yeah.
Google.
Hellboy's
him,
sister.
though. Aye, that could
Oh
be
my
it.
gosh.
No relation. There it is. Black and
There
white.
we go.
There you
I just thrown on a Rampage Jackson. There we go.
go. Is that the B.A. Baracus thing?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
come
no
on,
way.
man.
Oh,
Okay.
what? You must have a DeLorean sitting about there as well.
Yeah, it's there somewhere.
I knew it.
So I got that because once again, back to my little boy. He wanted an A-Team van because he likes to watch chases. So I think, oh gosh, what can I find? So I'll show him on a train clips of car chases and things. So he got into the A-Team, and who's that? That's Mr. T. Oh, right. He looks different. Yeah, well in this clip he does. It's not him. And Murdoch and stuff. I'd like a van. I think, how am I going to get that for his birthday? And I know Joe Carnahan, who did the A-Team movie, 2010 movie.
Mm-hmm. Better than people say, by the way. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, our paths have overlapped, and in well, he's way up, and he said, you should look on whatever eBay, you'll find something. There is a toy line. I did manage to get something that he suggested, but actually, in about 20 years ago, I found out that the A-Team rights went to a comic book company called Top Cow. And I was in and out of the States. I was living in a hotel for a bit, and I thought, I'm gonna write to them and say what I'm involved with, and I really, really would like to write an A-Team movie.
Right.
And so I got in touch with Top Cow and said, this and that. I had a few meetings with them. They went, oh, okay. What would you do? We have, we'd really like to do a film too. And then Stephen J. Cannell, who created it, I managed to have a few messages with him. I thought, oh my gosh, what he's created is unbelievable. What's your idea, Ben? From London. I'm thinking, well, you have to modernize it, but who would you have? That was the first question. Who would you have in it? I said, I don't know. Are you not worried about the story? Well, that will come later. Who would you have in it?
As always.
Who would you? And then there'd be a list of the main characters. Who would you have as Hannibal? Who would you have as BA? Blah, blah, blah. I said, well, give us your top 3. So I could only have 2. So I thought, well, so I said, well, Mel Gibson would be great as Hannibal, but Anthony Hopkins would be cool too. And then the next would be Michael Clarke Duncan as BA.
Being sound.
And Face. Oh gosh, I can't remember. I think I've probably got a list somewhere down there. And Murdoch, Jack Black.
Man, that could be an awesome movie. And they're like,
and then they said, well, and then it went to Top Cow, and they went, well, there was another producer. Oh gosh, I'll probably get in trouble. I don't know. Are they still around? Who knows? We'd really like to mix it up a bit. We're thinking of maybe Tay Diggs as BA, maybe a female BA or Murdoch. Owen Wilson as Face. Oh, okay. Mel Gibson we like, but he's on the border of maybe getting in a bit of trouble. Yeah. Oh gosh. And then it said, well, it's up to, I don't know whether you would be up for it. I said, well, I am up for it. No, in the studio's mind, I don't know whether Fox had it or something, but you haven't really written anything that's a whole movie. I said, well, who is up for it? Well, we've got, and they mentioned somebody who'd written a Steven Seagal movie. I said, yeah, well, there's somebody written no movie, and there's somebody who's written a Steven Seagal movie.
One and the same.
Wait, it depends. It depends which one he wrote, because there is a good one.
Well, didn't do me any favors.
Under Siege. Just saying. Under Siege was good.
Oh yes, producers will. They won't really. They just know what you've done, not what you haven't done, and they won't read what you've. Oh gosh, this is really frustrating. And I'm back and forth in the States, and it's exhausting because it was a very different time then. This is probably even pre PDFs being sent. You have to send a hard copy FedEx, and there was, the internet was just getting there. And it was. I said, you're kidding. Have you got a mock-up poster to sway a producer? I said, what? Of what the film would look like? I said, no. I studied graphic design, but I'm not I want to write. I don't want to draw. What do you mean? It was very, very weird, and that's how it was. And oh gosh, what was his name? I'm gonna Google it, or maybe I'll tweet you in a moment to see if it's the same guy who did get a job. But anyway, ultimately, years later, Joe got the job, and while he was developing that, I was doing a draft of Mission Impossible 3, and then Joe got that. And he didn't.
You live the same life as Kevin does. you always seem to be in the background somewhere when somebody else is doing something amazing.
I mean, his Mission Impossible would have been great. I think he did 18 months on that, and with Scarlett Johansson and Tom, they filmed a great deal, and that took a lot out of him, I think. But, I did a draft and a little bit, but
I didn't know that. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, he'd done a considerable amount, a lot, and it's a pint conversation, I think.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. I'll need to look into that. I didn't know that. I mean, I love Mission Impossible 3.
Thank you.
It's probably
They stole your shit.
No.
What's that?
No.
Just for him saying thank you.
It's just a lot of running. I wrote him running.
Shit.
I wrote him running a lot.
Shit. Yeah.
There's a lot of things. I think there's a lot of things in Joe's that are in other missions, and I don't know. Mine went to. It was being developed with when he had Cruz Wagner production, so it's straight after the first and second. I don't think they happen anymore. I don't think they're a company, but he still produced them. I think he pretty much owns Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're going back, 20 years. And this was when the third movie came out. So I'd written mine 2001, 2002, and then I think it came out in 2006. It was very different, but there was lots of people. There was so many drafts. Frank Darabont, David Fincher, Oliver Stone, Ang Lee, all part of Mission Impossible 3. It's probably the most chaotic film, but I mean, it ended up great. But I don't know whether I would have. I mean, it's tremendous cast. I don't know whether I'm not going to bring down anybody who film makes, but JJ, I don't know. I think Tom had this idea of every mission was going to be a different director, which would have been great, and it's turned out an amazing machine. Maybe it needs to change. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I run a few cinemas, and the last Mission Impossible box office was pish, so I think they need to stop. Same as the Marvels. Hunger Games is slightly better, but not so great. I think, and here's how, I don't know how you feel about this, but I think us as viewers now and film lovers are sick of like the next one now, and we're wanting those fresh, new ideas.
Except Die Hard.
Well, this is where I was going with this, right? Do you think that if tomorrow money was on the table, the stars aligned, and Old Habits became a Die Hard film, do you think you would suffer from what is right now the regurgitation process? Do you think people would roll their eyes?
It's weird because I love sequels, but I love to end them. Not kind of like, oh gosh, I don't want to keep going on and on and on. I want to kind of not just kill them off, but give them a nice ending. In a Shawshank way. This is good, wonderful. And yes, I get the studios like, it's another John Wick. Oh no, end on just. There could have just been one John Wick, to be honest. But
to be fair, that's fun. It is fun.
They are fun.
It is fun, but I think John Wick gets away with it because you know what you're going into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that, but when you take something like Mission Impossible, what we're on like 7 now, or Fast and Furious is 10. It's like fuck.
I think with Mission, maybe he should become the boss, take a back seat, cameo only, new team. Simon Pegg just new. I don't like the it's like the Bonds. I don't like the whole. I like each film to be a separate film, not continuation. I know back to Die Hard. I know the what's this, Rod Smith?
Sorry, he said Exit Wounds is a great Seagal film. Decent. Joel Silver knew his stuff, got him to cut his ponytail off and drop a ton of weight.
Yeah, definitely.
Last Mission lost over 500 million. That's right.
How is that possible? Right,
because no one's going to buy it. You spend all your money putting something together, and then you as well. It's a big rant, but Disney are quite responsible for a big drop in cinema, right? And also the fact that the industry is too scared to come out with something new because it's easier to ride. Well, it was easier maybe 10 years ago to ride the franchise because you knew that people would come, spend less on marketing, right? But then you got, if you notice, like some of the best stuff that came out, like Barbie, like You've done really well with Barbie, and it's fresh, it's new. There's not a previous Barbie film. I think that's kind of the way to go about it, which is kind of why I was thinking with yourself, Ben. Like, do you think if you were offered it now, like if someone's like, right, let's go for it, would you maybe say, well, give it, maybe not now, give it another 10 years when they're expecting it? But then again,
what Die Hard or
yeah, Die Hard.
I think because I wrote it as a an anniversary piece. I don't think it matters when you do it, as long as they're alive. But I'm Bruce. I think I saw him 2015 on stage in New York, and he had an earpiece then. He was doing Misery, and it was amazing, and innovations and then friends who worked with him. It was difficult, and you think, oh, is something up? But then lots of actors have earpieces, and countless Marvel and Disney guys, who I'm sure but and they're not old, but they're by no means spring chickens either. But sometimes you get lazy and whatever, just feed it through me and I'll pause it through with delivery or whatever. But Bruce, there was something in it, and a lot of directors I know and stunt guys would, this is difficult, and I think a lot of producers in these latter films took advantage of him. But only the family will know, and those close, and it is very sad. But there's he was aware of me for many years, trying to get this deal from Die Hard 4 right up to now, and championed me. But it wasn't just him. I know if he said, I want to do it, let's do it. But with this one now, there's the technology to do it.
You've got Eric on hand.
There are so many people. There are Jeremy, who does the ADR, does his voiceover for a lot of his movies, who we know. There's a lot of there's so much tech, and we're in touch with these people who said we can do a Die Hard 6 if X gives us a blessing. If 20th Century said, yeah, here's this, it wouldn't cost the moon. It's in a one location practically. So many people would love that, and it would end it. But if it doesn't happen, it's fine. Let's just do the TV show. But it's hard. It's very hard because you think, my gosh, how can a movie take over your life? And it really has. Not that I haven't had other things going, and I've written other things, but that was the dream. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I was reading the script. I like to do everything fresh. So whenever we're going to have an actor or a director or producer or something on, I will watch the movie just before we go on air. So I started reading the script tonight, and I got to page 91, and I stopped reading it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. Now
tell me what happens.
What, up until page 91, I can go through it all. But I got to page 91, and I was like, I don't want to read the end of this, because if this ever gets made, I want to be surprised. Now, I know that the likelihood of it getting made, certainly with Bruce Willis, just kind of diminishes minute by minute, unfortunately. It's a sad state of affairs that we're in with
you'd
Bruce.
like to go out, you'd like him to go out on a high, really.
Yeah, really would.
You want to blow your own trumpet, but you think,
But my thinking, I had a thought to myself, it's like, if it can't be done with him, I think it deserves to be done. And I was thinking it would make a fucking cool anime.
Wow.
Now that's just, I'm just putting that out there, right? But if it ever happens, I want some money. But no, I thought it would make a really cool anime, especially given the setting of it. I think that there could be something cool in that. But the story itself was it was great, and there's fan service in there, but it's fan service that works.
Commando. I had noticed the commando line.
Oh, there was a commando. Yeah, there was a commando reference, and I loved that commando reference. But just the characters that you bring in, and the development of the characters, and not only the characters, the development of Nakatomi seems pretty natural to a company like that, and where it started.
Yeah, I imagine it like Virgin, really, and you think, well, it's a super brand, and why wouldn't they have planes? And it was a well, you look at Sony and you look at all these big brands in Japan. They're not just TVs and videos; they are
record labels,
cars, and everything.
Yeah, and I was really engrossed by it, and I'll be annoyed if nothing ever comes of it, because I was really impressed.
Thank you.
And yeah, it'll be a shame if nothing ever comes of it. I would put as much, I'll put as many good vibes out there as I can to try and get somebody to hook onto it, because it's fucking.
So
good,
what is it
man.
you're missing?
It's good. I just want to say well done, because it is very, very good.
Thank you. I don't know what I missed. There was. I mean, we go back. So when I was working in a supermarket, and I'd written a fourth Die Hard. I'd written lots of different Die Hards, but there was one I thought, I just don't want to work here anymore. So I went to the library. There was no internet, and I went into a big book, and I thought, right, let's get 20th Century Fox's number and ring them. And I went into a phone box. I was working late one day, and I was doing like a 5 till 9 or something. So I thought, okay, right, 5 is there, 9 o'clock, wake up. Let's wait for my break and just go in. So I rang and said, can I speak to your acquisitions department? Oh yeah, sure. Just put you through. Okay. And I said, oh, hi, I'm calling from London. I'm a writer. And I said, Polygram film. I made up. I had a friend who worked an old sister-in-law who worked for Polygram. I said, Polygram Films said that I've got a great script that would make a really good Die Hard 4. And they suggested that I call you. Wow. Okay. And I think they were involved with a lot of the 4 wedding stuff at the time. A lot of Channel 4 bits, and they said, well, get your agent to send it over here, blah, 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 right to this guy. I'm like,
fake email address.
Agents.
Coming up.
Back to the library. Get the big book. I wrote to about 100 agents, and I said, 20th Century Fox would like to read my script, as they thought it would be a good Die Hard movie. You twist words around. I had 3 replies. One was from a lawyer and an agent. I thought, well, I'll go with him. And he just happened to go to law school with Bruce Willis's agent. Well, it was his lawyer. Skip Brittenham was his name. Obviously not at the time, and they were in touch. And they said, "Oh yeah, I'll put the feeders out." And so you get the faxes going. Then you've woken up 2 o'clock in the morning. Bruce isn't going to do another Die Hard for at least 6 years. You need to get yourself attention from a big producer, or sell a script, do something. So I thought, oh my gosh, what do I do? I'm in my 20s. How do I get attention? So the internet was just rising. Some people were getting on there. They were emailing people, the press, and things happen, and it just whirled round. And I was getting messages from people. And then I got a call from Cruz Wagner, hey, we hear you in touch with, you're up for Die Hard. I'm not really up for Die Hard, but keep going. Have you got any other scripts that have you got one that could be Mission Impossible? Huh? Yeah. So you send in that, and you're spinning 2 plates. And, wow, I don't love Mission Impossible. I really enjoyed it. My love is for Die Hard, but sorry that I was doing that. And it gets you a little foot in the door, but I didn't work in the supermarket again after Mission. But for Die Hard, then you get another email. This is very surreal. Bruce has his own chat room. What? Get online and start talking. What is it?
Okay.
Well, it's brucewillis.com. Well, of course it is. Okay. You need a code name. Why? Because Bruce has a code name. Well, what? And this was an old school chat room where it goes.
Hi, ASL. Yeah.
And Bruce's code name was King B. And so I thought, well, I love 12 Monkeys. I'll be 12th Monkey. And you'd get people like, hi, I'm Paris 664. I'm Champs-Élysées. But you think, what is this? What is this? And there were all these fans. And he would say, hey, I'm gigging in Las Vegas. Do you want to go and see me? And he would treat his fans. What? And then you get a private message. Hey, monks. That's me. Oh. What's my what films do you like of mine? Well, you know what films I like. Here's my top 5. I loved it. Oh, I turned down Ghost. You turned down Ghost. That's one of the biggest regrets of my life. What?
Still married Demi Moore though, right?
What? Yeah. So he turned down Ghost, and he loved. He said, "Oh, 12 Monkeys was one of my own favorite films." What are you doing next month? So, well, what do you mean? Well, if you're in Paris, we can talk about that script. I think, oh,
I'm in Paris next month.
So I got a flight to Paris, and I don't know whether I can tell the rest of the story, but I did go, and he was promoting Hostage, written by Doug Richardson, who another godsend, who wrote Die Hard 2, Hostage, Money Train, Bad Boys. He's helped me. He's flown my flag a lot. I can't. Praise him enough. He's wonderful, and Steve D'Souza as well. These are your heroes, and to be in touch with them is like, oh my gosh, and for them to love your scripts as well. You think, oh my god. We both look simple. We both look very simple.
You're a lucky bastard. Do you know that?
Oh man,
that's amazing.
Steve, we watched Commando in the summer, I knew a few things before it was shown, and because just over the years, just being in touch, and that there's like the rubbish trucks scene, and I remember years ago saying, well, that was my house down there. That was our own trash truck, and yeah. Oh gosh.
Do interesting note. Commando is one of my 9-year-old son's favorite movies. And
you're never too young.
I seen it when I was younger than him, so I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll let him see it. And he adores that film. And
man.
And I have. Yeah, thanks, Stephen. If you happen to be watching, thanks for Commando.
There's
so many good lines. But I remember we were watching something else recently, and I think Bill Duke showed up, and I said to my son, I was like, Murray, do you recognise him? He was like, I do, but I don't know where from. I said, I'll give you a clue. And I just went, don't worry, we won't. And he went, Commando, that's the guy for Commando. And I love it. He does. I think he's kind of developing the love for films that I had when I was growing up, and I'm happy to pass that on. And
that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah. And Yeah.
Bill Duke's a lovely guy. He's actually blocked me on Twitter. And a lot of people have said that I think it might be one of those bum blocks. I mean, what do you mean? How can you accidentally block somebody? But no.
Hulk Hogan blocked me.
Did he?
Yeah. I was only saying, right, so he got a new missus at the time. And his missus happened to look a lot like his daughter. And I just pointed that out. Fucking blocked. I was only saying, his daughter Brooke. I was like, yeah, she looks a lot like your daughter, eh? Blocked. I was like, no, she does.
You silly boy.
She does, though. She does.
So this script that you sent us, that we had the privilege, I say that, to read. When did you? I mean, I know that the date on it was just 3 years ago. When did you start writing it?
The one that you read.
Yeah.
So the fourth one, who when I was in touch with Bruce about, was set in the Caribbean, and it was pretty much Die Hard on an island,
right?
Because of the enclosed space and 1 and 2 building, airport. 3 I love. A lot of people, a mate of mine actually is written a book about Bruce, and he doesn't like 3, but and doesn't think it's a Die Hard, but it is a Die Hard. McClane is more McClane in Die Hard 3 than any other movie.
I love 3.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I do. We get back to that, I'm sure. But I thought, right, let's bring up. It's straight off the back of 3. Let's bring back Samuel Jackson. I'd love John Woo and stuff. I thought, right, let's get in touch. Michelle Yeoh, I wanted in there as. I thought, well, okay, let's have a female baddie. Nobody's really done that. Let's have her as some kind of Takagi type. Okay, I don't want to get down that route, but let's see if I can get hold of Chow Yun-fat as a partner of Bruce. So Bruce, Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh, John Woo, Samuel Jackson, and let's see who else we can get. Because the challenge was get a name, get a producer behind you, get some attention. And so I thought, how can I do this? Who produced the last one? Andy Vanya, who did Rambo, Basic Instinct, Terminators, and Die Hard 3, and had a company of his own, a little splinter company called Synergy. So I got in touch with them, and he was really interested, really liked the script, and it would have cost an absolute fortune. A wrecking of an ocean liner, luxury yachts, helicopters smashing into each other, island hopping, based in Trinidad. Yeah, let's do it. He sounded a bit like Arnold. Let's see how we go. Let's meet up. Let's meet up in Cannes. So went up in Cannes, met him, and quite hopeful, having been a little bit rejected by Bruce in another weird story that can't really be mentioned on the recording.
Did you try to kiss him?
I will. And he said, I've sold the rights back to Fox to make Terminator 3 and 4. I said, he said, I really like your stuff. Have you met Mario? What? This is my partner Mario. I said, no, what? You saw
Kassar? Mario Kassar?
Yeah. So he passed me on to Mario, who's my friend ever since the last 20 years. Die Hard 4 didn't happen. And then Mario went, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. Have you met Arnold? And then it's up, and somehow I'm on a balcony with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Andy Vanya, Mario Kazar, drinking champagne, toasting the announcement of Terminator 3.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Which J-Mac hates, by the way. He hates Terminator 3. He's
Yeah.
called it
not a big
shit.
Not a big fan of Terminator 3.
I like it.
And then I pitched. I said, "Oh, do you know what? How about what do you think of Terminator?" Well, I would have you as a scientist who created Terminator, because why does he look like you? What do you mean? Why does he look like you?
There's a scene that explains that in T3.
Is there?
Yeah. A deleted scene. It's a deleted scene.
Yeah, it's a deleted scene. Yeah.
And what about
they stole that?
Why doesn't Robert Patrick be a rival scientist who and then that kind of
That's
thing?
pretty cool, by the way, because like they all create things in their own image. They're playing God. That's cool, man. I like that.
But so he's a normal guy and a Terminator. I don't know. You should eat. My muscles are bigger than your waist. That's what he said.
Is that what he said to you?
of course he fucking did. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
But Mario and I, we became whatever good contacts, and throwing each other things. What do you think of this and that? And he's done with Hollywood, but he came back and wants to do something of mine. But
what is it?
It's a female spy movie. I've been trying to get off the ground for a while. He pitched it as a female Bond. It's not really. It's very gritty.
Keep those words away from it unless you want it to be like, the female Bond.
Imagine Pierce Brosnan and Michelle Yeoh had a child.
That's a sexy child right there.
Yeah.
That came out wrong.
It's getting clipped. It's getting clipped. Sorry. Finally got him. That's it. Yeah.
Oh God.
And that's us banned.
Oh man.
Oh God.
You're known Hollywood Jet, J-Mac.
God damn.
It's been on the cards for a while, but I'll sweep over that. Julie Estelle, who lovely actress who was in one of his movies. She is in buddy of mine's film. Have you seen The Night That Comes for Us?
Yes, I have. That's fucked. That's crazy, man. Yeah. I was watching that, and like I watched it because I'd heard it was notorious. I'm going to watch this, and Jesus Christ, man, it's like The Raid on steroids.
Yes,
it's bananas.
Julie's in that, and Timo is amazing. He director, does a lot of stuff with those guys, and and Mario made a film with Julie, and doesn't really rate The Night That Comes for Us, but it's too violent, coming from a guy who's made a lot of violent movies.
But that's how violent that movie is. It is violent. It's the definition of it.
Say, how did you do that? There's a scene in a butcher's. I think, surely you killed somebody for real.
Yeah. Oh,
no, they're
my God.
very, very quick cuts. Yeah. Life is cheap out there. Oh my God.
That was a good movie. I need to watch that again.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, you mentioned something earlier on about the. I thought you might have been talking about your previous incarnation of it.
See, Rod, he's reading that. Oh my gosh.
But the version, the script you sent us, it doesn't seem like it could be done cheaply, but it wouldn't. I don't think it would be crazy expensive either.
3.5.
No, more than that.
Full fairy.
Bad pre-fairy.
You got to pay the Bruce Willis estate, I think.
But
Rest.
yeah, the set. I mean, how much can I talk about it without fucking
As much
things
as
up?
you like.
Right. The idea of setting it in Japan is actually genius, because
it's a no-brainer, really, and
yeah.
It's a natural progression, I feel. And you think, oh my gosh, it started with a Japanese company, and you think, why? And this was my thinking of it. And I chat to McT about why was it a Japanese company that they decided to rob? I don't know. It's just something in the script, something from the book. So I'd look up German, hands obviously, and German and Japanese relations, and they go back
Technology.
to the 1800s, and blackmailing and switching each other about. You think, oh my gosh, this is awful, and oh, you owe me, and double crossing. And I thought, well, what if the Grubers and the Takagis have double crossed each other over the years, and this was just another one of those?
It's great, man. It really is great. I'm actually, I mean, like I said, I stopped reading it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but I'm annoyed that I don't know how it ends, but I'm still not going to fucking read it.
Go on, you got to do it.
No, I can't. I've made a point, and I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not watching that ending until it gets made. So you need to push the boat out, man.
So here's the thing.
Made.
when you say just get it made, so what are you missing, Ben? What do you need if you were to say, right, okay, I need this, and this, and then we can make it? What is it you need?
I think the guys who head 20th Century Studios, and they're aware of us, and I've got really great friends who make things for them, who really want to champion this, and they like, oh, I don't know. Even through the writers' strike, they were like, oh gosh, my manager wants me to team up with you because you haven't got that much power, but oh, I know. Here's Sanso's email. This guy called Steve Asbell, who heads 20th Century Studios, and he has really done wonders for them. Because you think when Disney got hold of Fox, they had some great properties. Aliens, Die Hard, Predator, and the Predator is great. You think, well, you can still do Die Hard, and I don't want them to wait so long that it becomes a bit of a forgotten thing. So they just reboot it, and it becomes just some mess of like the Bad Boys TV show or whatever it is. And
I don't think Die Hard is rebootable. I think it is what it is, but I think that you could do it in a different way. Hence my anime suggestion. I'm not a huge anime fan. It's not just like, oh, I love anime, so do anime. I think it could be a way around the challenges at the minute with trying to put something like that together. I think it would work fucking really well. I say I'm not a fan of anime. I like the classic ones. I like Akira and Fist of the North Star and like going way back in the anime world. I'm not familiar really. Like I've never seen Ghost in the Shell. I've never seen what the
I'm trying to find another anime. It's like I've never seen.
No,
aren't they doing that with I think Netflix are bringing out next month Terminator anime.
So they're starting it, mate. That's just setting it up for you.
Get on.
By the way,
man.
We've got a guy called Matthewman who could. I mean, it'll take him a while, but he could.
Just call him Craig. Call him Craig.
Nah, Craig's boring. It's Craig Matthewman. Matthewman's the guy, but he could proper turn your film into animated workings between him and a few other folks I know. That would be.
There was some. I say Russian. I'm going to get in trouble, but I think they're Georgian. Their tech is absolutely amazing, and they do a lot of siege. They did an advert with Bruce Willis without Bruce Willis,
Right.
and you think, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. And
Is that not what caused the strike?
this was a couple of years back, and or maybe last summer, and they said, look, the technology we've got now, we can replicate anybody's voice, anybody's anywhere.
Look at
We
Britney
can
Spears.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Pre, we went on live.
Yeah.
That's the conversation. If only you could wind that back. Yes. Yeah. Oh man, Michael Jackson's still alive. And it's I don't know. I think you can do a lot, and I think it's not embrace technology, what we've got now, not just dismiss it and go, oh god, everybody's jobs at risk. Well, yes and no. It's a big conversation. I don't think.
I think if it's fair, you could be earning money while not being somewhere. That'd be cool, as long as it's fair.
Absolutely. It depends what agent you got and who's behind you. And I don't think people's jobs are at risk at all. I think it's going to enhance
productivity.
Yeah, you can make 12 films at one time.
I know.
My laugh, my big goofy laugh is actually it's on Twitch. It's someone's redeem on Twitch. So if you subscribe or whatever, you get like these perks, and one of the perks is you can click a button while this girl's playing a game. Her name's Catwoman, and once you click on it, I'm like, my big stupid laugh. It's an actual redeem. So I'm in two places at once.
Oh man, you can click on a photo and it can animate you. You think,
right?
Hey, how is that? It's a relative I've never seen before.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, you'll get the AI and however it is they're using it, right? You'll get the stuff that's done quite shitty that'll fall away because no one will be interested in it. So all the top tier ones that use it will be able to do it so accurately and so well that I think it could be pretty good. And then it'll give us a new genre as well. Like when you go into Netflix, it'll be like real films or AI films.
You know what I mean? We didn't hear about the makeup artist being up in arms about, the de-aging of Harrison Ford or Robert De Niro and things like this. Oh, were they out of work? You think, well, no, there will be scenes where there will be makeup. You'll always be employed.
Mark Hamill. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen a mouse being raging about Mickey.
Me neither. Yeah, 100 years of Disney. Come on.
Makes sense,
but yeah, 20th century they're doing wonders with what they've got, and there's such a great back catalogue, and there's a great team. I don't know how big their team is, but when I was I think 2000, mid 2000, 2005, 2007, I wrote. I wasn't, I think this is coming off the back of my lull of Die Hard 4. I thought, right, this is it. I'm going to give up on the Die Hard film. That's it. It's going TV. Everything's going TV, digital way. I had some friends who worked in Fox and all like the various channels, FX and stuff. I'll do a Die Hard show. What? And it wasn't kind of dismissing the first film. It wasn't, Bruce was that guy. That's what made him that guy. You think, well, how did he meet his wife? How did he join the police? What was his family like? It was more of a drama. So I thought, let's set this. I love New York. Let's set it in that space. And there'd be action sequences, but it wouldn't necessarily be involving him or McClane, because that would take the focus off Die Hard. Because I was thinking, oh, well, hang on, it would just be a walk in the park for McClane if he was suddenly involved with terrorists and stuff. I think, right, well, how would he? So the first episode was absolutely bonkers. My kind of adoptive aunt, when my dad was doing bits in New York, I met these people when I was over there. I spoke with an officer who, and she said, wow, I joined the force in 77, and I thought, well, this would be about the same time. My first day was on the New York blackout, and I was introduced to every crime imaginable, from car theft to arson to rape to shootouts to everything.
Shout out to your script.
Yeah, I thought, okay, tell me. And everything that she said, and that's in there. That is in that script. And I thought, well, this is amazing. So I met with Fox UK, and they said, right, this is great. Let's get this out here. And Fox Europe blocked it, and they said, we don't know where this will go. We don't think this has got legs. What do you mean it hasn't got legs? And then they halted it, and they were, I think people in Italy headed up Fox Europe then, but so well, okay. And they said, look, Ben, we're signed that we've seen all this stuff and we developed it. It's yours. It's not going to go anywhere. I thought, it's mine. You're not owning anything that I've done. No, okay, right. Let's photocopy everything you've signed. And I'll put it in my book and in the script, and I'm still in touch with these guys, and they said this is the thing that we really regret not pushing. And it would have been great. McClane.
I hate. I'm going to sound like James English for a second, but how does that make you feel? You know,
no,
like
you would have said, "How did that make you feel?"
Do you know? No, it would have. Well, not only would it have just not made me work in teaching for 10 years, but also you think, who makes? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? You've got somebody who's developed this for free with producers who have developed it for free on a sideline, and not cost your company anything, but have developed it to the max where it's ready to go. And you go, nah. What? You don't need the main star, but only if you do as a voiceover, because there was another version. If you wanted Bruce to go, it's 1977, blah blah blah. I joined the NYPD. So yeah, the script now is it doesn't. That's McClane. And then a couple of years later, there was a comic, very similar, set during the New York blackout. You think, well, where did this go? But
they're stealing your shit.
Wow.
They're stealing your stuff.
Who knows?
I think we should just not fuck with them. That's what I would do.
Sometimes I remember speaking to a lawyer, and they would, you know what? You could develop something on a desert island, and somebody in Australia could be developing the same thing. You know, Australia's an island too, right? Are we on the same island or what? But yeah, I get it. Of course, people get the same ideas, but that was too close to home.
Right, that's specific.
Yeah, we could talk about being ripped off.
How's
going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, Die Hard's great, and we could, you know, there's other things in the pipeline, but yeah, that's always been the dream. But I've got a question. Do you oh gosh, does are you in touch with Scott Adkins?
Us.
We'd love to be.
I mean, not yet.
Oh right, okay. I thought maybe he was in touch with you. I messaged him tonight actually about your show, and I'm watching. But I'm in touch with him about doing something. But he was my go-to baddie for the Daisy Scarlet.
Great choice
with Mario, but he should be where Jason Statham is right now.
Yeah, I recently watched. I mean, I'd seen him in the Ip Man movie, and I watched Avengement.
Is it no IP Man? Or is it
Avengement was fucking good, man.
Oh man,
really enjoyed that.
Anything he does with director Jesse Johnson, who did White Elephant with Michael Rooker and Jeremy Sunday, Bruce Willis. Anything he does with him is just golden.
He was the best part of John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what was funny? I didn't know he was in it, and I was watching it. I was like, that looks like a fat Scott Adkins, and I was like, Wait a fucking minute. That is Scott Adkins.
Amazing.
Yeah. Again,
a great martial artist as well. I mean, he's definitely. I mean, he could be doing this generation's fucking Van Damme movies.
I think that's the problem. I think he came around too late. I think that's do you know what I mean? It's like that the chapter on that was shut.
I don't think it is, man. I think we're all screaming for good martial arts movies again.
In mainstream, though, I don't think they don't shine a light on it anymore.
Who would you have as in a new Enter the Dragon remake?
Nobody. cannot be done. Don't touch Bruce Lee, man.
Mate, we were almost in. Do you know we were almost in Bolo Young's hotel room? That was mad. We got invited.
That was fucking.
It never materialized, but we were like, "Holy shit, are we actually gonna go?" Doesn't he look quite like he used to? Like, I think I could take him now. Like, I actually don't fear a fight with him. I reckon I just knock him out really quick.
Oh man,
it was actually that was a sad moment for me. Like when I watched it, because he's I don't know if he has arthritis now or something. I mean, he was a bodybuilder obviously back in the day. I don't know if it's caught up with him now, but I saw him kind of shuffling through this convention, and I actually teared up a little bit. I was like, "That's fucking Bolo," you know. It's Bolo, and even in Yangtze.
Is it?
Boom.
By the river.
Yeah. Certainly that's what he was billed as in Enter the Dragon. Whether that was a stage name and then he stage named again, I don't know. But
it's crushing.
But oh man,
catching that guy, and that guy's like, oh, just man.
I know. I think he was crushing the shit out of him.
I bet he was.
Yeah, I don't think that uniform was brown, but when he started crushing him.
You know,
oh man,
the real ones appreciate Scott Adkins though. Like we're all sitting here under a wee hood because Hollywood doesn't push martial art films anymore, not like they used to. But the real ones, the real fans, really appreciate Scott Adkins in the same way they would someone like Jason Statham. I would go to say that.
If we're going to talk Bond, if they were going to go back to the traditional Bond.
Mm-hmm. He would be great.
Scott Adkins. You know, even if they did one off kind of based in the 60s or now, but if it was realistic Bond,
that would be. I would never have thought of that, man. See, this is why you're a fucking writer. Because you think of things that other people don't.
Or Riz Ahmed.
That's the fella from realistic. That's the fella from Four Lions.
Yeah.
I think.
So Riz.
That was shite, wasn't it?
Four Lions. No.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else. What am I thinking of?
I fucking hope you are, because that's one of my favorite films.
Oh no, it was Four Lions. I'm sure that was shit.
No.
Rizwan.
Was it not?
Mate, Four Lions is phenomenal.
Maybe it wasn't shit. Sorry, I might be thinking of something else.
All right, so you're thinking of it. If we've got any viewers, if Rod's there here now, but yeah, Dev or Riz, that's if you want to go actual. This is realistic Bond, or back to the 60s suave. Get Scott.
Do you know I could see that?
Yeah, he'd be great in a Mortal Kombat film as well. He'd be excellent in a Mortal Kombat film. I can just see it. Yeah.
So
definite.
So until your Die Hard movie takes off, what are you doing in between now and then?
Right. What am I doing? Okay. I'm writing a TV. Well, I think my agent's just messaged me. She's watching.
Hi.
Hello.
I am. Hi, Dickie. I'm writing. So I've got a TV show. They're on TV as well. It's quite a new thing for me. I've got a show that is very twisted. I've got two actually. I'm writing, but there's one I'm writing at the moment for. Do you guys watch any reality shows?
At home with the
Celebrity Bake Offs or anything like that?
No, at home with the Furies.
Right. Yeah, I watch Bake Off.
You're a cake guy, Jay.
Yeah. What can you tell? I hide this double chin well with some very fancy lighting and a high camera angle.
Oh, what's the icing you've got in your hood? Come on. There are the Walsh sisters. Now, the Walsh sisters, there's Amy Walsh, who came close to winning Celebrity Bake Off. She's
Right.
I think she's in one of the soaps. And her sister is Kimberly, who is in Girls Aloud.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So that's 2 acting sisters. And there's another sister who teaches. And I get this in my head. I think, oh, do you remember years ago there was the McGann brothers, the Irish McGann brothers, who were in everything. There was one of them was Doctor Who.
I have a vague recollection of that.
Yeah.
McGann.
Yeah.
McGann brothers.
There was a series that they all got together, and I thought, oh, do you know what? We haven't had a family of actors for a while.
Like
being in one.
The Kemps.
Yes.
Like the Kemps.
And so I thought, oh, okay. So I've written something with them in mind, which is absolutely insane. Three sisters with a police background, investigating there. It's imagine like a female Last Boy Scout.
Okay,
I'm feeling Charlie's Angels.
The Last Brownie.
Oh no, it's disgraceful. I don't know whether it will get made, but we need a bit of a shake up. And the other one is a woman who was a teacher, but she it's me again, who becomes a probation officer. It's me again. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And
hell,
she tracks down the people who are responsible for her the demise of her family. She's in a car crash, and you think, you know what? This isn't just a normal car crash.
It was a hit.
Well, not really a hit. Just like, do you know what? Everybody, this isn't normal. I'm gonna somehow find this bit out. I will. Great pitch, right? Anyway, she ends up taking on a massive Albanian mafia, and but how does she do it? She trains herself up and becomes. The only thing I can think very, very similar is Peppermint with
great
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah. Okay.
Goes off grid, trains up, becomes absolutely insane because she's got nothing else to live for. She's lost everything. She's lost the whole family, and thinks, well, do you know what? Why not? Yeah. So TV and a bit of Scott Adkins, and then trying to. I've got something for Scott. If he's reading a couple of things, if he doesn't like it, I'll rewrite The Bodyguard and try and get a new singer.
Right. Jesus Christ.
This is courtesy of Beans.
Thanks, Beans.
Oh,
so that is the child of Michelle Yeoh and Pierce Brosnan.
Oh dear!
But you said it was sexy.
Ours Photoshop. It worked out.
We have a lot of. Usually it's Matthewman that sends in the photoshops, but that's the joy of Jibber Jabber Podcast.
Oh,
anytime we're chatting, it usually gets turned into some type of meme and sent to us while we're on the show.
I did have a book of people. I think, all right, have I written everything? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, lots. I think you've covered everything. But and things that I haven't. There's Brian saying, "Oh yeah, make a list. If not, I'll message the guys." I think I can't make a list. I'll deviate. And it won't be anything.
Have you ever thought about writing an autobiography? Yeah, I bet you have. Surely.
I've read a few books, the first book, the first novel was when I was teaching, and it was. I thought I've got. I know people say, "Oh, everybody's got a book in them," but I thought I've got to get this out. My teaching life is coming to an end. I've got to get this out. This is bonkers, and so I had to write it as fiction. My dad read it. He said, "Oh, I've read your book. Oh yeah, what do you think?" Oh, bit too close to home. Which bit? All of it. Oh, okay. Thanks, Dad. Glad you changed my name.
It's like to what? Fad.
Yeah. From Michael to Mikhail or something. It's
Miguel. It's Miguel.
I think one review was it's like Taken meets Grange Hill, and I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'll go with
that. A teacher gets kidnapped by one of his students, and his MI6, his ex MI6 father has to rescue him. But so that's it's oh gosh, there was this boy who when I was teaching who said something in class. I was teaching an art class, and all of a sudden, Special Branch in 3 weeks' time quizzed every teacher about what that student said in class. I thought, oh my gosh, seriously? He's 11 years old. And I thought, I need to write something. Yes, it's absolutely. If you want to know what he said, read the book. It's called My Name Is Not Jacob Ramsey. And I will get 40p for every copy sold.
Is it that bad? 40p?
It's terrible, yeah.
Fuck me. How much does it sell for?
Probably, I don't know, probably £9. But yeah, good old whoever. That's why if you get that's why you get a lot of writers going on I'll sign this, pay it for a tenner, they get that tenner. They buy up all their books. It's the same as all these publishers. They buy up all their books. To make it up into the top whatever list. Oh, this is number one because you bought it all yourself.
What the hell, really?
I think that's one thing this podcast really does, though. Like, since we started doing it, I mean,
got a load in the garage.
Everything seemed glitz and glam. And then you get into the roots of the business, and you're like,
I've sold you reality.
The industry just seems so full of sharks and people that are willing to make money off of the genius of others. And it's a sad state of affairs. But I think we live in a world now where we can all take control of our own creations.
I think that's where, music is, those people, the producer took advantage of all the acts, and I know they made a lot of money in the 80s and right up to probably 90s until Napster and iTunes. But now you think, oh, right, we'll sell it direct, and they will hopefully make money from touring, don't they? And however else, that's where the money is.
I believe now, though, the record companies are taking a cut of the merch as they never used to before. That's what I've heard. But I don't know. Maybe it's just, different for whoever. Eh? Nicky Lovett said, "Hello from Nicky. Hey, hi Nicky. What's it like to be working with Ben? Is he a troublemaker?"
Can't stop laughing.
He is. Where can people buy a physical copy of Old Habits? I'd like to get my hands on a physical copy.
I think actually there's two versions. There's the one on Amazon, which is called Old Habits, and there's, if you're German, there's Sturbenlanzen. Oh, look and it's a better copy, funny enough, because it's German and everything German is better.
I can't read Italian.
But
just release a book. Release a book called Everything in German.
I should
release a book called Everything in German is Better.
I should do a Patreon version of the script, and maybe we raise some money. if you want to read the script.
No, man. Like I said, I was. I mean, what could we say? 80% through the script, and I didn't want to spoil it by finishing the end. So it's a fucking good script, and I just want to say congratulations for having the ability to write something like that. I wasn't going to talk about this, but when I first printed it off earlier, I started printing.
Printed it?
Yeah, well, I can't read from screen. I get fed up scrolling, and so I'm going to print this off. And I'm going to read it, and then the last few pages printed off, and I started reading the last page. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "This is bizarre." And I was like, how's Die Hard become this? But then, when I started reading the script, I got about a third of the way through. I was like, that's how that happens. and like, it's actually fucking genius, man. I like, there's, I can't compliment it enough.
Well, feel free if you have any other questions to message me about. And this and. Oh, I can see this person as this person. Benedict Cumberbatch is Hans Gruber's son. No, it's not. But yeah, I don't know.
That would be cool, though. He looks that way, doesn't he?
Doesn't he? Yeah.
You've thought of that already.
I didn't realize until well, not just recently, but recent times. I look at him.
Jeremy says
that's his Bible. That's his Bible. Look at his face.
I love his face.
Where's his beard? Where's his beard? Oh gosh. My little mentor of directing, Dexter, who I mentioned earlier, his best man was Alan Rickman.
That's a best man. I bet you got a great speech out of him. If you could all turn to page 394.
Oh gosh!
But Alan fucking
385. Yes.
But I mean, Alan Rickman, Die Hard that was his first fucking big. That was his first movie, wasn't it? Like he'd done some stuff before that.
I've been reading his diaries recently. It just wells you up. You think, oh my gosh! And his mate is oh gosh, Jeremy. Who was in who's Die Hard 3? Jeremy what?
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons. And you think, oh gosh, that they wanted to. There was a big rights issue about Alan Rickman being in Die Hard 3 and using his image. Anyway, he lost out because he couldn't go up against the powerhouse of Fox and their lawyers. Okay, whatever. And see Jeremy Irons, blah blah, pay my brother, and you think, wow, but it worked. It was great. I thought it was very well done. And, brought McTiernan back.
yeah. I mean, bring it. And by the way, I don't know if I wanted to ask us earlier on, but I thought
McTiernan would like to do mine, by the way.
Yeah. Kevin mentioned that to me, and I was like, I'd fucking love that.
He said if there was any, he said if there was any justice, he would do my Die Hard 6 and the pilot for McClane TV show.
Wow. That would be fucking awesome.
Oh man.
Like, is something that's come up in our podcast a number of times is Last Action Hero, and we fucking love Last Action Hero, right? And I think it was a completely misunderstood film at the time. I think it was a film that was released at an unfortunate time, being in between like Jurassic Park and other stuff. What did you ever speak to John about Last Action Hero at all?
And to Shane as well, Shane Black. All three to Arnold, Shane, McT. It hurt them all in different ways, and you think, oh god, and there were so many. There were different writers and things, but you only know what you're being told and what you read. But I thought it was very clever and ahead of its time. It was very meta and very lots of things didn't make sense, but let's just throw everything at it. Yeah.
That was the whole point, man. The whole point is that it doesn't make sense. The whole point is it's all cliches and silliness. It's fucking awesome. It's one of my favorite films. Like the nostalgia I get from just seeing that Columbia logo come up at the start. I'm just like, fucking yes. I love
just
Last Action Hero.
Trailer of Arnold, to be or not to be. You think,
not to be.
You think
something's rotten in the state of Denmark, and Hamlet is taking out the trash. Fucking, that's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. But yeah, give our love to John McTiernan, please. Please.
Yeah, I message all the time, and there's always this little heart of my little boy. But yeah, he's well. He's got a big family around the States, and I'm sure it's very snowy now. But yeah, anything. He was going to do a war film, and this, and I think, yeah, he would have loved to have ended the Die Hard saga, and he's worked with Bruce on a couple, and a lot of people funded his legal campaign, and Samuel Jackson, he's in touch with him, and you think, oh, Basic, Die Hard 3, get back together, guys.
Absolutely.
He was just down the road from me a couple of months back. He was literally a stone throw away from my house. He was filming.
Oh yeah, Sam Jackson.
Reynolds.
Yeah,
really.
He was filming in Bathgate. Which...
my mate Stell wrote 51st States.
Oh wow!
And it was originally for Tim Roth, and
Tim Roth.
And Tim said, I've just done this. I'm going to pass it to Samuel Jackson, but he might have a few demands. He likes golf. Oh, right. Okay. So they whack in a few golf scenes, and then Stell said to me when I was writing Die Hard 6, he said, "Do you know what? You should put in a golf scene, and he would love to wield a samurai sword." So I've got a golf scene in there for Zeus, and him wielding this katana. Whether it got to him, who knows? But there was going to be a oh gosh, this is going back when 51st State was going to be released. Stell was from Maidstone in Kent, not too far from where I grew up. He was working at Threshers. I was working at Safeway. And there was another chap who
Safeway.
I know.
Morrison's now.
And they were going to get these three writers on the couch of like Good Morning Britain, being interviewed by Jenny, whoever was the reporter of the day, but it never came off. Like, oh, that would have been fun. But who wants to know about the writers? Right?
That's excellent. 51st State is a great film. I remember watching it maybe. I think it had been out a wee while before.
I think it came in 1999. I think.
Aye, so I must have seen it about 2005, 2006. I think when I first watched it.
Stell's great. He writes books. He's very man. He's like a real life Indiana Jones. He lives in Colorado, and he did a show on I think Discovery about trying to find Atlantis. And he wasn't given a second season. I think we might have found it. Really? And but yeah, he writes a lot of stuff, and he's gone the book route. He hasn't written another film, sadly, but he's a genius, man.
No, it was a great film.
I love that movie, man. It was so funny. I mean, it was action packed, but it was so funny and witty. But yeah.
We've
by the way, McClane's got some killer lines in your script as well. By the way, I just want to say that there's some good lines in there. Like, I mean, this is why you were here tonight, was to talk about your script. So, I mean, how would you feel if somebody just phoned you tomorrow and just went, "Let's fucking do it"?
Wow. Well, I could. Nikki, are you there? She'd be happy. It'd be a dream. It'd be an absolute dream. You think, okay, right, what do we need to do? How do we make this happen? And we've got all the elements. And I know we've got mutual mates, I think, who have been championing this. And it's just like a no-brainer. You think there's been other, absolute massive movie shows saying, "Oh, there she is." Who there was a great show, Collider, and these wonderful reporters, and they're great. They they really championed me for years, and they love the script, and they've got genuine friends who were hired to do a McClane movie with Len Wiseman and Lorenzo Bonaventura, and it was going to go ahead before the Fox takeover, and they said, we as much as we love these guys and they're my friends, we'd love Ben's script. You think, oh, and they were announcing this live to millions. You think, this really? Oh my gosh, I'm a fan. And I'm no, these guys have written big films, and that's really humbling. And I've had loads of trolls and things saying, "Oh, gosh, guys, it's only movies. Don't worry about it. Don't bring me down." The other side. But if it happens, that'd be amazing, and I can then move on. Closure.
So you've had trolls as well.
Oh yeah, but I don't know whether they're well, you look them up when you've got the background you have. Then they're very easy to find. But you think, do you know what? I know you are. What you're doing? Don't bring me down. And from people who've written for big magazines to movies, you think, what are you doing? Why are you bringing down another creative? Don't do it. I never bring, even if there's a horrible film, I think the process is still the same. Something's happened along the way. You think somebody's going to give you a note, something doesn't work. You think it's you're still making a movie. You're still making content and people are watching. That's great. Whether it's on video, online, in the cinema, don't bring them down. They're doing something. They're not, stabbing somebody out. It's it's just a movie.
Yeah.
But you get these really, no, that can't happen. Oh man, there's this picture I saw today, and I've been doing the rounds for years and years. And there's a picture. It's a toy, and it's a Spider-Man figure in a packet, and it's got the word Gandalf at the top, and it's got Star Trek, and it's got a DC logo, and it's got, you think, oh yeah, if that doesn't wind people up, you think, oh,
I love that. I love that stuff, man.
People do. They get really wound up, and you think, don't troll. Don't, okay, you can say you didn't like it, but so what?
Yeah, but wait until it fucking comes out. In fact, I was guilty. I was guilty of that one time, and I remember it was when they said that Heath Ledger was going to play the Joker, and I was like, fuck off, fucking Heath Ledger playing the Joker. And then I saw the film, I was like, oh, that was amazing.
He can only do Brokeback. Oh.
Which was another great film, by the way.
Yeah.
Anytime I say to anyone, "Oh, I love Brokeback Mountain," they're like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "No, but it was class." And by the way,
they just don't respect it.
It's another thing. Actors, you think. I remember going to see, or when this was years, and this is pre-internet. This is like movie magazine. Dissing in the grandest of scales, where there's a big letter by Anne Rice, who wrote Interview with the Vampire. How dare they cast Tom Cruise as Interview with the Vampire? Blah blah blah. It's Lestat. You think, man, you're bringing down. It's like the biggest movie star in the world, and he's probably going to sell you more books than you can ever imagine. Yeah, it's the same for Jack Reacher. Oh, okay, right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I remember that actually. I'm pretty sure that Anne Rice came out afterwards and said, "Okay, I was fucking wrong." Right?
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
that was amazing. But with Jack Reacher, it was actually, this is a very personal thing. It was my dad when he found out that Tom Cruise was playing Jack Reacher. He was like, my dad's like at that time he was in his mid-60s, and he's like, that's fucking Tom Cruise playing Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher's 6'4" and he's fucking massive.
Yes.
And then he saw the film and he was like, it was pretty good, to be fair. Because who he had in mind for playing Jack Reacher was John Cena, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see that. And then the Amazon Prime series came out with that guy that's not particularly unlike John Cena, and I was like, okay, right, Dad, you got one right.
Yeah, you think, well, you know, would a film? I don't think it would have happened with a TV show first. I think you know, Cruise gave it a platform, and if he was a fan, there you go. And the writers in the film. He has a little cameo. You think, well, do you know what? You're obviously eating the money there, man, and just you're not complaining.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't, and he didn't. It's only the fans, but yeah, he's a 6'4", whatever. But it's more believable. You can't. Who's going to go up against an Arnie or a John Cena
exactly. You've got these frat boys picking on John Cena. I don't fucking think so. But picking on Tom Cruise, you could believe it. But then also when Tom Cruise does his stuff, you can also believe it. And that was a genius of it. I love the bathroom fight scene. The fight they had in the toilet in the first Reacher film was hilarious, man. It's like there was no room to actually do any damage. Every time they tried to swing a bat, it would hit something else. And it was fucking amazing. Really well put together.
Tom in the toilet, Reacher, and Tom in the toilet in Fallout as well. There's yes. I'll send you another tweet about something else. But there's oh my gosh, that movie, and he did two films.
Both good as well. Both good.
Yeah,
but I want to see something from you come out, man. I want to see a feature film written by Ben Trebilcook. That's
fine. Thank you.
This is what I want to see after reading that script, or 80% of it, like I said. And I need to see something.
Maybe Scott Adkins will say yes to this script called The Fisherman about.
And there's your budget.
John Wick in Thailand, but it's fine, or something else. But you know, there's always something. You never not. You don't stop writing and thinking, and if Dan Keeble is still there or awake, he's how do I get my ideas? He constantly walking down the street, talking to people, characters. One character can give you an idea. So, without doubt. It's even your little boys. I mean, he was playing the other day. He had him, and him together in a boat and there was this toy shark. I thought
that's a crossover. That's a crossover.
That's a lot of movie. That's a lot of money there. Disney own all of them. Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah, we're going to need a bigger boat if you want to live.
We're going to need it, yes. Oh, God. Man.
That's a Matthew Mann poster right there. Right?
You're going to leave. We're going to need a bigger boat if you want to live. That's fucking hilarious.
Have you seen any RoboCop documentary, by the way?
Oh, well, our friends made it. I forget that we're all kind of... Yeah, so Chris and...
Amazing.
And Eastwood.
Phenomenal.
It was outstanding. It's actually just done a big round there of like 10 million views on a clip, the audio one that we brought up, because we done the podcast with the guys 3 weeks ago.
I need to go back.
It was a lot of fun. We've been good pals with them for the last 5 years now, and everything they do are amazing. The guys at Deadmauss.
It came from the It Pennywise documentary.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Kicked off, and then it's just kind of kept going. We've had Gary Smart on a couple of times now, and
he's a regular.
Yeah, and it's
that's actually how we know Brian, which is how we're here tonight.
Wow.
Aye, so there we go.
Everything's connected. It's the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, as they say.
Oh, dear.
We've yet to fucking get Kevin Bacon on, though.
We should
give it time. give it time. We've had Billy Bob. I suppose he's arguably on the same level as.
Can you link us to Kevin Bacon in 6 moves or less?
I bet you can.
I bet.
In fact, let me try it right fucking now. I'm going to do it. Right, so you got Die Hard. I'm going to need more time.
I've got it.
Go.
Kevin Bacon was in Sleepers with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was in 12 Monkeys with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was in Die Hard.
You've done it in 3. That was 3 degrees of separation. That's fucking awesome. Well, you never know what's on the cards, man. Maybe at some point people will be trying to find the 6 degrees of Jibber Jabber podcast and Ben Trebilcook. So you never know.
Oh, it's very kind of you guys. It's been enjoyable,
mate. It's been an absolute blast. And keep in touch as well.
We'll do.
We've got lots of friends in different places that may know your friends in different places, and if we can ever push a domino one way, well, to be fair, this screen is all us friends. That's it. I'm joking. But like I say, if we can ever push a domino in the right direction to get that line of dominoes going in the right direction, then we absolutely
you tried. You tried.
I fucked that one up.
You fucked that one up, right? You did.
But
I don't know how many people you know who are watching, but I've just been messaged by they run a Mission Impossible podcast.
Oh, nice.
And they did called Light the Fuse.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to link you all in to all the podcasts I listen to and write to. But Light the Fuse pod. They were bought by Paramount earlier this year.
Awesome.
To be the official Mission Impossible podcast.
Oh, holy shit! Wow.
And dreams come true. And they did a special 3-part pod. I think it's episode. I don't know, hang on, let me see. It might be 40 in the 40s, early 40s of Mission Impossible 3. And I was listening to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is me. They mentioned the disastrous production of Mission Impossible 3, starting with my script right up to Oliver Stone, David Fincher, to Joe Carnahan, to where it eventually began. But it's the only mission that had such a lengthy journey. And it was an eye-opener for me, thinking, oh my gosh.
Do you know, funnily enough,
I wasn't alone.
Yeah, I was in my car the other day, and I just put on the Amazon Music thing, because I don't use Spotify, I use Amazon Music, and it was like movie soundtracks, and it came up, and I was listening to like Jaws, and I was listening to like Jurassic Park and stuff. Then all of a sudden the radio changed. I happened to look at the screen at the point where it changed to the next track, and it was called Light the Fuse.
Oh, how weird.
And that's the name of the theme song. The theme song.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I don't need to remind anybody that theme. Everybody fucking knows it.
Picking up other pods. But yeah, so strange. Oh man, no,
definitely
it's tremendous. Where are you? Are you in a cupboard? Are you?
This is a studio. Yeah, I'm definitely in a cupboard, like Harry Potter.
High five each other. Is this just this blue line that's a plank?
Yeah, we are completely separate. Kevin is in his little cupboard. I'm in my. This is the garage that I got converted into a little cinema room. So that's my cinema screen there. I've got my projector up here and a dartboard there. And yeah, just we're in. Fuck, that's so out of focus.
Yeah, we're in 2 different locations. It's pretty much central though to like Edinburgh. So he's in Glasgow and I'm nearer Edinburgh. But we get together regularly, do live shows. And
what's really funny though is that I am neither. Am I in Glasgow? and neither is he in Edinburgh.
Close enough. Close enough. Edinburgh's like 20 minutes in the car for me. Glasgow's like on his doorstep. So
Glasgow's 20 minutes in the car for me as well. So,
we're
I live in the country. I've got a nice little semi-rural location here. It's lovely.
And in the 2 hours of this, you've had a tattoo on your forearm done, and
yep, this whole time.
I would show you mine, but I'm embarrassed by it because I got it when I was 18. Let's get a tattoo. What do you want? I want something. I want something Chinese, and I want a wolf. Fuck off.
It says Merry Christmas. He thought it meant warrior.
It's not what you think it says.
But Ben, thank you very much for coming on tonight. Thanks for letting us read your script. It was fucking awesome. I hope somebody picks it up.
Thank you.
And keep in touch, and even just hang about for a few minutes after we come off the live. We'll close off our conversation.
All right.
This has been amazing. Thanks again. Thanks for coming on. It's a privilege to get to speak to people like yourselves. Yourselves. There's only one of you.
How do you know? Stop assuming.
I can't assume anything. But yeah, it's been an absolute blast. And come on again if you come up with something else that you want to plug. If
he'll come back on to tell us that Old Habits is on its way.
Imagine,
please, and even if you just want to come back on to chat shit, we'll do that. And we also do watch-alongs where we watch terrible movies that are so bad that they're awesome. Come on to one of them, watch the movie with us. It's been fucking fantastic, and tune in next week. It's what we got next week, Kevin.
Who's on next, J-Man?
We actually don't have anything planned yet. So
I've got a couple irons in the fire. Arnie, and then the week after Scott Adkins.
Oh, right. So we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger next week, Scott Adkins the following week. Yeah, that's exactly how this podcast goes.
Scott is the crescendo. No, I'm kidding. Janice says yes. So there you go. You got a fan in Janice. Anybody that is looking to buy Old Habits, you can buy it on Amazon. Just go to Amazon and write in Old Habits. Pops up Ben Trebilcook, and I'll see
if I've got any copies up here. I'll send out some.
See, there you go. He'll sign them. He'll sign them, and you can buy them direct. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Make it Die Hard related as well. Again, huge thanks to Brian Traynor. I actually met him the other day. He came into my office and he was looking at my framed magazine cover of Last Action Hero, and we spoke about you and loads of all different things, and we spoke a lot about Old Habits as well, which was really cool. So it was cool to catch him. Lorna says, "Good night, guys." Yeah, absolutely. What are you saying, Jim?
Can I ask you one question before we go, Ben? What did you think of that movie?
Do you know what? How weird is this? So I had a dream the other night that Rod Smith, who messages, put me in touch with a producer called Dot Kyle, and I'm in touch with her. She's very close to Amazon and all this. And I woke up thinking, oh my gosh, I had a dream that I wrote the new He-Man, and Dexter Fletcher Dexter Fletcher directed it, and Dot produced it. And I messaged them the other day, and they went, "Wow, that'd be amazing. Let's make that happen." I would love to write the new He-Man and make it Lord of the Rings style, big, epic.
That would be huge.
That'd be phenomenal.
We don't know yet, but yeah, that'd be amazing.
That would be it.
I think Netflix are trying to offload it to Amazon.
Right.
That's why
from the animated show
for a live action thing, but
they have to do it right. It's a risky business.
I'd write He-Man in a heartbeat.
Hell yeah.
What did I think of that one? Shouldn't have come down to Earth.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I've got you. Keep it on the Eternia. Right. Yeah. I got you.
You. Right, keep everybody else. Keep everything. Just even Dolph. But
he was awesome. Great fucking He-Man.
Yeah.
Savior of the universe.
That's not Flash Gordon, Lorna. That's He-Man.
And yeah, guys, it's been an absolute blast. Ben, we will be speaking to you again. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's been an absolute blast, and we will see you guys next week. Take it easy.